Stitchy friends, welcome to my channel. I am Diane, the Be a Blessing Stitcher, and today is Friday, July 12, and this is Flosstube number, oh, I always forget to look, I think it's 17. I'll put it in the notes at the beginning. I'll put it on the title. I'm really terrible about remembering to check that. But anyway, welcome you guys. I am so glad you stopped by today for a chat. For anybody that's new, I'm so glad you landed here. You better grab a cup of coffee or your favorite drink. It's probably going to be a long one. I haven't been on here in a while, and so I have a lot to show you. I'm going to have to stop and start a little bit because I can only fit so much in my little area in front of me. So I'm going to have to stop and start a little bit and do some editing. I do want to, first of all, thank you all for coming back. For those who are returning, I love you guys. You have shown so much encouragement and concern for me, wondering where I am and what's going on, and nothing is going on. I'm doing fine. There's just been, like everyone else, there's been a lot of things going on. The one life update is our area was hit by some devastating flooding. There was a levee break in a river that was close by, and then that was on top of a ton of water, a ton of rain that we had, and several communities in this area had flooding into their main floor. Some people had it to their, like, halfway up their main floor. People had basements that collapsed. There was even one fatality. So it's been kind of really hard around here lately, but also amazing to see our communities come together and help each other. So that has been on my mind, and it's been consuming me a little bit, just helping out in the areas that I can, because you know what, when things like that happen, you all do your best. You do what you can to help. So that's been really hard. I had my granddaughter living with me for a couple of weeks. Her bedroom didn't get flooded, but they did get some water. She has a basement bedroom, and her carpet got wet, so they had to rip that out. And so she came and stayed by me for a couple of weeks. So just things that have been a little bit busier than normal for me. I'm usually pretty quiet and boring, which is what I prefer. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm such an introvert, but I do like quiet and boring. So other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of life updates, but I did warn you this could be a long one because I think it's been 6 or 8 weeks maybe since my last one. So anyway, welcome everybody. For anybody new, if you happen to like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I would love to have you join our little community. We're a small little community. I have a small little channel, but I love you all, each and every one of you. You're just special to me. I think what I'm going to start with today is some of my Patriotic finishes, and then just a couple of other finishes that I've had along the way since we last spoke. So I think I'll start with those. I tried to gather the information on most of them. I don't have all of them, but I'll show you what I can, okay, you guys? So the very first one I'm going to show, I finished last year. You may have seen this one already, but I think this one is called Liberty Lane. It is by Primrose Cottage. And some friends and I got together for a small little gathering, and one of our great friends, Tami, who has a YouTube channel called Woodland Stitching Studio, showed us all how to make a drum. And so I finished a drum. I don't know if I'll ever make another one without Tami. She has her own finishing business, and she's so good at it. And if I feel the need for another drum, we may be calling Tami and saying help. But anyway, I love it. I really do love it. So this one is fun. This one gets pulled out for the 4th every year. And I tend to leave my stuff up. I pull it out about the middle of June-ish, and then I leave it up right through Labor Day. And then I pull out my fall stuff. Now, as I get into stitching more bee stuff, I don't have much yet. There may be a period of time where I switch out some of my Patriotic for bee, or I may put bee stuff out in the spring. I haven't quite decided yet how I want to do that. I don't have much bee stuff done yet. I have a lot of patterns, like we all do, right? But I don't have a lot actually finished. So, but that is one of the things I'm going to show you today. So anyway, I think this was called Liberty Lane and by Primrose Cottage. And I think this is Lady Dot chenille or velveteen that I used on the top, and this was her chenille. I don't recall the names of them, but I used chenille across the top and the bottom. The velveteen is on the bottom because this stitching row wasn't very pretty. I need to practice that, or I need to let somebody else do it for me. So I was thrilled that I could cover it up with some chenille and have it look kind of decorative. I think it's okay. It's okay. Okay, there's the first one. I'm trying to go in order here a little bit of what I finished first and last. This one I made last year, and I didn't have a card on it. This one hangs up on a wicker basket, a flat one that has like a wall pocket on it. And I usually can change these out seasonally, and then I put some like florals that match the season in there as well. This is by Bent Creek, and I think it's just simply called Flag. And I used all the called for flosses, and I don't recall what fabric I used. It's a little bit more of a whitish or an ivory, a soft white color, and it's a linen. I don't stitch much that isn't linen. My guess would be, there's 2 strands of floss, so I'm guessing this is either 32 or 36 that I did with this one. And this isn't on here, and he's a little smushed. I keep taking him off so that I don't have to store him with the bow on. So I just have the bow kind of pinned on there. And it just kind of blends in with all the rest of the florals that I have. I'll put some pictures probably in the front of where I have all of this stuff set up in my house. So I tend to stitch to decorate. And I'm trying to learn to stitch just for fun. I'm not very good at that. I always think I have to have a purpose or a place for it. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I think sometimes you can just simply love a pattern and want to stitch it. So I'm trying to learn that, but that's a work in progress for me. Okay, so that was Flag by Bent Creek. What do we want to do next? This one was just a little 1776 stitch, a little flag. Actually, was a fairly big stitch. Those rows were quite long and full coverage. So, and then I just tied a little bit. I stitched some fabric to the end here, and then I just tied a piece of twine around here, and he bugs me. I feel like he's not quite in the right place, like he keeps covering something up. And then I put in a little decorative navy pin, and then the backing, I did some chalking. So I painted some fabric with these lines that had a stencil, and so I just did some stenciling. It was a fabric paint, and put that along the back. It kind of matched it really quite well. I don't know, what do you think, guys? Down, up? I can't quite figure out where that little, maybe he needs to come off. I keep messing with him. Anyway, I do kind of love him. I really do love that one. This one was by Samplers Dash and Dash Santas, and it's called 1776. And I used, I want to say tin roof on this one, but I don't have, oh, nope. I used Tobias in a 28 count Lugana. Oh, I had it written down. The colors I used for red was just DMC 3831, the blue was DMC 3768, and the white was DMC 822, which really popped pretty good on this darker linen. And I stitched that one last year. So I really enjoyed doing that one. That one was a ton of fun. And then I did this one last year as well. This is just my wee bird. It's my Patriotic wee bird. And I swapped these out for this season. I have one for pretty much every season, I think, except perhaps Christmas. Last Christmas, I don't think I left my tiered tray out. I think I put something else up. But I've decided I love my tiered tray, and I think it's gonna stay out from now on. So I do have to do a Christmas one yet. But I think I've got one for every season, but this is the Patriotic one, and this is a button by Just Another Button Company. Is that the only button? Yep. Most of these do have some kind of a button, a specialty button that goes with them. And I don't have a card on this one. I know I changed some of the colors out. I like more vintagey looking Patriotic, and so I tend to prim it down just a smidge. I don't love super bright, but that being said, I do have some that are super bright as well. So I know I stitched this one last year. So it's just so fun, you guys, when you go to your bin of decor and you're able to pull out previous year's stuff and then just tuck it in. I love that so much. And this one I did last year. I didn't have a card on it, but this one was by Manny Didana, and it's the bottom half of, something in a jar. So underneath this was like the top of the jar lid, and then this came way down, and then there was a house in the jar. And I just wanted the poppies. And so I pulled the poppies off the top of that and stitched that one. And I'm pretty sure, no, I changed the colors of the poppies too. I really wanted the poppies to be vibrant and almost a little bit of a orangish red. I'm not usually an orange red person. And if I look at it up close, it doesn't look orange red, but it's a little bit more on that side. And again, it's on linen. And I really wish I knew what size, and I don't have a card on this one. I did some of this stuff before I decided to do a Flosstube channel, and I was just stitching away. Speaking of that, I've been terrible about recording anything in my book of days. I flunked, big time flunked. I've just been having too much fun just stitching and not recording anything. So I apologize for not having all the information at my fingertips for you guys. If you have a question on something, I will do my best to try to look it up. It might be in my Instagram feed or in one of my posts. I might be able to find some information out on it. I also made this little guy last year. Do you remember when these were all the rage? These little circle hoops? These little circle hoops, which were so fun. And this one is Primrose Cottage. It's one of their little flags. They were doing flags on the 4th last year, and she came out with a new pattern every month. And then we were supposed to stitch on the 4th, and I made this one teeny tiny. I did 1/1 on, to me, what looks like it could be 32. Because I wanted it to fit in that little hoop. And I had planned on making a bunch of those. Best laid plans, right? I got one done, one. But that doesn't mean I won't do more. But anyway, that's my one claim to fame with the little hoop things. And it came with this nice wood backing. I really liked it. Really, really liked it. So that was by Primrose Cottage. Which do I want to show next? Another one by Primrose Cottage. This one is called July 4th, 1776. I did this one on 32 count beige, beautiful beige. I used the called for DMCs. And I left off, because I wanted it to fit in this frame, there were a bunch of like stars, like quilt stars, quilt looking stars. There's 3 of them that ran down the side, and I just didn't have quite enough room for that. So, and then I had to shift over my July because that was centered more under the whole design. But other than that, it's just this is another fun little one that I can swap out. I tend to use this frame more often. It's got this really wonderful adjustable little thing that lets me go tall, short, so I can kind of tuck him in and out wherever I want. So once again, that one is July 4th, 1776 by Primrose Cottage. And another one that I did this year, have I gotten it? Oh no, let's not do this year yet. Let's keep going with last year. And so Emily Call came out with these adorable little stitches called Patriotic Flowers 2. And I decided to do a pair of them. And one is actually just a smidge bigger than the other, but not much. It's got cute little flags on the bottom. See if you guys can see all the funness. And on this, I did change one of my colors. It called for 3865 for the white, and I used B500. B5000, B500, B500, the B white one, the white B one. Because the other one just was really disappearing and I wanted it to show up a little bit more. And then the flowers here, I gotta figure out which one. I think it was this top one. The outline of it was done in a color that was almost identical to my fabric. So I did change that one up and I just used another one of the blues. I think that might have been in it. And just kind of played around with it a little bit till I got what I really wanted. So I used that blue in a couple of places, like there's these two little, those were also that light color, and I just wanted to be able to see it better. These I did on Milk and Honey linen in a 36 count by Fiber on a Whim. And I did that one in May. I did both of those in May of last year. And then I finished them both with the same fabric on the back. Just a navy, kind of like almost looks like fireworks. But I thought those are so fun to put into my dough bowl. Really enjoy both of those. And then I think I can jump into what I did this year. This one was one that came, it was a free chart on Paulette Stewart's blog. It's a little bit hard to find, but it was actually designed by her daughter, Bree, and she has a channel too, but it wasn't on that channel that I found it. So her mom is Plum Street, and she's like Blueberry something, or blue, it's blue something. But she doesn't update it very often, but she designed this wonderful flag stitch that I actually saw last year, and I fell in love with it, but then I just didn't have time to do it. I did this one on some color and cotton old lace, and oh, that's my threads, sorry. I did this one on Grace Note Fabrics, Dirty Chai in a 36 count. See if I can get this on here without a glare. And I just love how she sprinkled those flowers through the flag. I just thought it was so fun. So that one was such a fun stitch this year. And I did use color and cotton floss on this one. I used old lace, and I used Ferris wheel and coastline. So the old lace is the white, the Ferris wheel is the red, and the coastline I think is the blue. And that one is just on, I got this from Target, and it came with the mat. I wasn't sure I was going to use the mat until I realized I didn't leave myself enough of a border to not use the mat. Always improvising, right guys? So anyway, I love that one. And then my biggest patriotic one that I did was I followed Nicole Spohr. Love her. If you guys aren't following her, you need to. She's beyond amazing. She's so creative, has such an eye for color and design. I just love almost everything she does. And so usually if she does a sale or if she recommends something, I jump on that bandwagon. So anyway, she was doing biscornus, and she was using patterns that were not meant to be biscornus. And so she had pulled a bunch of the different hands-on design patterns. This one was called Summer Basket, and they're square, and so they can be turned into a biscornu. Any square pattern can actually be turned into a biscornu. The hardest part about them is you have to stitch 2 sides for each one, because it has a top and a bottom that have to go together. So it's like stitching 2 things to get 1 item. So it was a little bit more work than I anticipated, but I love how they turned out. So I did 2 of them. These are my 2. And grabbed a couple of the little fun, oh, I gotta think who those came from. Jersey Girl. Jersey Girl is where I got those pins from. Aren't they fun? Nicole had recommended those, and I thought they were so pretty. And they serve a dual purpose because they hold my 2 together, because I like them stacked. and they just come off. So the bottom one looks like this. I did change the colors on this. Her colors were a little bit more of a tealish, greenish blue. I wanted really very red, white, and blue. I wanted something that was going to be very, well, to go with the rest of my Patriotic decor, basically. So this was the top one, and then you have to stitch a bottom too. And I stole Nicole's idea on the bottom. This was kind of what she did on her bottom. And then you just take a button, top and bottom, and pull them together. So that was the bottom one that I did. And my top one looks like this. Again, this inner part was that tealish, greenish color. And then I chose to do it in a light blue. And then this is my bottom. And so they could set individually or together. When I did this one, I didn't know what I was doing, and the pattern had a border. And so I thought I needed to do a border on the bottom piece and stitch them together, but I didn't need that, but it gave me kind of a cool effect. Gave me this really big white ridge around the whole thing, and that basically just came from the border. So that one is one of my favorite new ones. And then I just kind of stack them kitty wampus so that you can see a little tuck of the other pattern on both of them. And then I have those sitting on a stand that I got from Chantel 141 Design. I'll go grab that in a second and show it to you. I'll finish up with what I'm showing you here first. And that is it pretty much for my Patriotic. But I do have two other finishes that I got done since you guys were here. There was a Blackbird design book that I really liked that's out of print, and I'm on the Blackbird Facebook group, and I don't know if I mentioned or if there is there might be a thread where it asks what charts you're looking for or what's your unicorn chart, and I mentioned this one and I can't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down. Do I have a card? No, didn't do it. I didn't do it. Nope. Nope. But it was a bee. I just thought this was the beginning of my bee decor, and I really wanted to do that. So this one and this one go in the same place. They're the same size, and I can swap them out in my decor. And where this one goes actually is on a board or a shelf. It's called a shelf sitter maybe from Paisley and Polka Dots. And so I just put a couple, it's got magnets on it. I just put a couple of washers on the back so it's magnetized, and I can just pop those on and off. If you guys want more information on that, I'll dig it up. I know I've got it somewhere. I know I wrote it somewhere. I just don't see it right now. And then my last big one was a Mother's Day start that I did with Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher. Her and I have become just dear friends. I just love her so much. She's been just an incredible support to me. We tend to like to stitch a lot of the same things, and so we oftentimes will collaborate just a little bit, like, what do you have in your stash? What should we start together? And so this one was our Mother's Day. It's Proverbs 31. If you guys have watched my previous channel, you know I bought this pattern 3 times. I loved it so much. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. It has a fair amount of 1/1. All of the words here are all 1/1. So that's that was new for me. I'd never done any 1/1 before. And I think I used all of the called for colors. I stitched this one on Brenda's Brew 40 count. I did substitute one color because I ordered this as a kit to be kitted up, and one of the colors that it came with wasn't right. I didn't have it. So one color that was called for was Weeks River Rocks, and I ended up substituting Pamlic, P-A-M-L-I-C, and it is, if I get to the right side, it's this little bird and it's this flower up here. So there wasn't a whole lot in that color that I had to actually switch out. And then I also chose not to put in, each one of these little teeny tiny flowers had a stitch in the middle, and I started putting them in, and I didn't like it. You know, when you do one stitch sometimes and it's surrounded by others, they don't always lay beautifully. And so I pulled them back out and I decided to leave it. It didn't add that much to it by adding that little stitch in there. So it actually just made it look a little bit busier, because it really made that confetti-ish look with all the little flowers more visible. And so I felt like they just kind of blended in a little bit more this way. So this was an old frame there was a mirror in the middle of it. I picked it up 7-8 years ago. I bought 3 of them at that time from Walmart, and I used them. I think I hung them in a row or something like that. And so I popped the mirror out and I pinned this one. This was my first attempt at pinning something. And I do like pinning. I really need to go back around and lace it now that I've got it pinned, because I haven't really finished the back yet. So I really do need to finish it off with some lacing. But the pins will just stay in. And it really helped me to get it even, I thought. So anyway, I love that one. That one was called MD Proverbs 31 Sal, that Beth and I did it together. So there might be something. I'm not sure how many people followed it. I stitched mine really fast. I couldn't put it down. I just loved it so much that I kind of just went to town on it. So, okay, then I'm just gonna share a couple of things that I got of Stitchy kindness from some people. The first one came from my friend Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher. Pardon me as I reach and bend over for stuff. On my last video, I had mentioned taking care of yourself and looking for help if you needed a little assistance with your mental health. And she was so sweet, and she sent me like a little spa day in a box. She sent me this whole box full of wonderful goodies and a fabulous card, just the sweetest card to encourage me. And so that was, I haven't used them yet, Beth. I've been waiting and waiting to do this video because I wanted to share it with everybody, but now I can. This is a shower steamer. I've never used one of those before. I can't wait. So, and she sent me a pair of pajamas, you guys. She just spoiled the crap out of me. And then one other thing, I had a date with, a stitching date with one of my friends who lives about 2.5 hours from me. So we found a common meeting point about an hour from each of our homes, and we just stitched together for a day. My church is about an hour from my home, and they had a wonderful facility, wonderful comfy couches with big windows and a TV if we wanted it. We didn't. But anyway, she brought me this wonderful, sweet gift for organizing it. It's this little, and I think this is a die that you can get from, oh, I'm so bad with my names right now. I was just on their website, Pashta Designs. So they have a die that will cut this all out for you. And she tucked in this cute little scissors, and then just a couple of pages for needles. Oh, you guys, it's just so stinking adorable. And then look at this front. She's got beads stitched on there and everything for me. I just love it so much. Thank you, Julie. I just can't express how surprised, and I didn't have anything for you and I felt so bad. I'll make it up to you the next time we get together, because hopefully we're going to be able to do that more often. But anyway, I just thought that was so thoughtful. It's a great idea for if you're going to a retreat and you need to do something, a table favor. It's just a great idea for that. So the die for it, and I think you can buy the felt, the wool felt also on Pashta Designs on their website. It's P-O-S-H-T-A Designs. So you should go check that out. So thank you, Julie. That means just so much to me. And then I think I'm going to take a quick little break and reorganize, and I'm going to move in my WIPs, because this is going to also be a WIP parade today. So it's a good time to do it halfway through the year. I forgot to mention that I am celebrating my 1-year anniversary. It was actually a month ago, but I didn't get a video done just with life, and then with the flood that we had, things just kind of got in the way. I kept trying, and then every time I'd planned to do it, it does take about a good half a day to haul everything out and then to do the video and then to edit it. It makes a huge mess. And so with people running in and out of my house all the time, it was also just hard to be alone long enough to do it without any interruptions. So anyway, we're going to celebrate my 1 year, and I have a couple of amazing giveaways. They're awesome, you guys. They're awesome. So stick around for that, okay? All right, I'm gonna take a tiny little break and reset. I forgot to show you just a couple little things with my Patriotic. I found on Instagram, this one jumped across my feed from Itty Bitty Cottage. She's on Etsy, and she does some of the cutest little fabric things with old quilts, and she sold these little stars. Probably 2 weeks ago. They sold out immediately, but I did manage to grab one. They're just adorable. Let's see, yep, Itty Bitty Cottage. Her little label is on the back. I don't know if you guys can see that, but isn't that cute? So that sits in my dough bowl too. And my hope is someday I'm gonna be able to do some of that. I know how to sew. I haven't done a whole lot of quilting, but I'm working on that with my friend Beth, who's like a master quilter. She's taught classes and everything, so bless her heart, she's gonna try to teach this old lady. And then I wanted to just go through a couple of miscellaneous things. I told you about the stands that I got from Chantel 141 Design, and this isn't glued on yet, so it came as a separate piece. But it's just a cute, adorable little stand, and it comes in 2 sizes. And I just stained mine and then glued them together. And then this is the larger one. Also has that piece that's movable, but it just makes an extra little lift for some of the things, like a drum. It's perfect for a drum, or if you have a doll bowl item that you really want to highlight, you could prop it up on that. Great for a biscornu, so that kind of thing. And then also another thing that I've been working on with my friend Beth was, I didn't know this when we first met, she crochets as well, and I used to do massive amounts of crochet. I used to make a lot of like booties, little baby shoes, a lot of fun little things. I even sold quite a few of them, but they became, when you make small items like that, it's hard on your hands because you have to pull things so tight that I started having a lot of issues with these guys. I have arthritis in this hand. I can't even get that, can't get them back anymore. So I definitely have some issues going on there. So I had to kind of give it up, at least that type of, it's a little bit like amigurumi, where you make the little animals or the little figurines. It requires some smaller threads, and you have to pull it kind of tight in order to get it just right. But she started on a blanket. So her son was deployed shortly after having a brand new baby. And while she was so incredibly proud of him, it hurt her mama's heart to see him not only separated from him and the family, and then just, of course, a little bit of anxiety that goes with then when they're deployed. So she was having a bit of a down day, and I said, what can we do? Let's do something to lift our spirits. And she said, well, I'm starting this blanket called the Gem Blanket. And I said, okay, let me see what I have, because I have an enormous stash of yarn, you guys. I've so many times thought about like paring it down, but I have more than Walmart. I have a ridiculous amount of yarn. And I was able to just go down and pull some stuff to make a blanket. And give me 1 second while I lean over and grab it. I will put a better picture on there for you guys. I did stitch a Patriotic blanket quite a few years ago, and I have that one hanging up, and I'll put a picture of that in here too. I'll insert both of these. But this was the Gem Blanket. I don't know if I can even get it back far enough for you guys to see. Hers was multicolored, like none of the colors were the same. Mine, I have a pink and a tan and an ivory bedroom, and I needed a blanket for my dog to kind of sit and lay on. And so this is the blanket, and I got it finished this week. So that's been wonderful. I've been able to put it on my bed, and it looks so much better than the pathetic blanket that she was using for her little area on my bed. I like to kind of protect my bedspread from her. She's not messy, but she's a dog, and I just wanted it to be a little more clean. I don't know if that, yeah, she's not messy. But yeah, I just wanted there to be some separation between my bedding and her bedding. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys both of those. And then I want to talk quickly about Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb. She is so fun. I just love that girl. She has the best ideas. She's the one that kind of orchestrated Jingle Ball. And she has put together something called Midsummer Stitch, which is next weekend. The tickets are $8, and it's going to be structured an awful lot like the Jingle Ball, but not really it's not like all the designers with all the free patterns and all the new purchases that are available. It's just going to be chatting. It's just going to be stitching and chatting. I think she's setting up some speed stitching. I think that's what she called it. I never got to participate last year because I had COVID. I tried so hard. I jumped on here and there, and I just kind of kept the screen dark so that nobody could see how pathetic I looked, and I so badly wanted to participate with it, and I felt horrible. So I didn't get to do any of that last time, so I'm hoping this time around I get to. But anyway, she sells Lowry stands, which I purchased some accessories from her, and super fast shipping. She's got a great little shop. She's been expanding it and adding different things, and when I got it, she sent me all these wonderful goodies. Like she sent me a couple of free charts. Look at those, you guys. Wow. Free. She just included those in the purchase. And I probably won't stitch the cat one because, first of all, I don't do cats really. I used to have cats, but I don't have them anymore, and I don't really do a lot for Halloween. I do very generic Halloween stuff, but I don't really decorate for Halloween. So anyway, she sent me those two, and then also sent me this really adorable, I don't know what it is, a puffin? It's just so cute. And then the chart is on the back of the card. It's called Dee's New Hat. It's only 22 by 28. Let's see, what does it say? What is D? I can't tell what D is. But isn't that just the cutest little stitch? I thought that was adorable. She sent me this thankful stitch of a swan. And if you guys know me, oh, I love my swans. Love, love my swans. So those are both of hers. And then she just sent me a little background on how things started, a wonderful little card with like her story, and then because she's all about birds, she sent me some stickers, some bird stickers. So so impressed, so very impressed with her. And I love her anyway, because she's just so much fun, and I'm not. So I gravitate toward people who have like this amazing personality, and she does. She's bigger than life. She's fun. So I wanted to quickly show you those things, and I'm gonna reset. Okay, now I want to try to start my WIP Parade, and I tried to organize these guys. Not successful. So I will just stop and start while I hunt for things, and some of these I've worked on, some of them I haven't touched for a while. Maybe some of them you can encourage me, and maybe some of them you can advise me to forget them and move on. So anyway, I'm going to start just showing you what I have. First of all, I have a day planned out on August 10 with Kathy Haberman at the Shanty Stitchers, which is my local needlework. It's only about a half an hour, 35 minutes away from me. And she gave us a pre-stitch. And when we get together with her, she will help us to make that tray and that little tomato. I don't know if you can see them. We will go away with those two items made. So she's going to teach us how to make that little pin cushion and that tray. And so this was my pre-stitching for the tray. And to be totally honest, I didn't want to break out from what I was doing. I wanted to just stitch what I wanted to stitch, but I did it. And they're really pretty, you guys. The colors, I was surprised. The colors were really beautiful. So that's the bottom of my tray. And then this, make sure I get it the right direction here, is the piece that goes around the tomato, the pincushion that we're going to make. So I've got all my stitching done, I'm prepared, and that should be such a super fun day. I'm going to be attending that one with my friend, my good friend Charlotte. So I'm looking forward to that one. Plus it's so close, it's half an hour basically. So I'm looking forward to that one. Where do I go to next? So my Smith sampler, you guys have seen that one before. This is my Smith sampler by the Scarlet House. You've seen a lot of people stitching this one. We started this one for Diane, let's see if I wrote it down on my card, Diane Sutton's birthday sale. At least I did. I started it with her back in March. I love stitching on this one. And I was going to town on it, and then I had other starts that I had to do, and I had to just tuck it away for a little while. This one, I am doing it on flax 40 count, and I'm using a whole variety of colors. I had done a conversion to Roxy Flossco, and then I didn't like some of the colors I ordered, and I subscribed to the Color and Cotton's Floss of the Month Club. I get the neutrals and all the colors. And so I have a bunch, and so I just went in and I pulled some of the colors that I wanted from Roxy Flossco. And I pulled them so that they would look very much like the picture, because that's what drew me to this one, was the picture. This one lives in this beautiful bag by, I want to say this was Como Stitches maybe? It's a little Easter bag, but the colors just kind of reminded me of what I was doing. So I really should start writing down the makers of my bags. I would think if Como Stitches made this one, there would be a tag on it, and I don't see a tag, so I think I'm wrong. I don't think she made that one. But I'm gonna have to start keeping better track, I think, of my bags, because I do kind of willy-nilly buy them. And so my Smith sampler looks like this, and I did not want to take it off of my my frame, you guys, but I've got the whole top section done, except for the border has a lot of fill in. It's really kind of full coverage in between all of these little triangles, and I don't think I have all of that filled in on the top yet, but I am on to the bottom, the next section. I won't say the bottom. I haven't gone all the way around with my border, which I am a border gal, so, but this border was just so intense and overwhelming that I didn't want to just do that. So I haven't really worked on that one much lately, but I love it. I love that one. Then another one I started with several people, but I was egged on by Handmade by Sarah W. She had started it first, and then a couple of us jumped on and said, ooh, we want to do it too. So she started a sale. Let's see if I wrote down the name of the sale. Yeah, Dash and Dance Sal. And she's hosting it, but I think Sarah Stitchery on YouTube and Stitchy Sarah Reed on Instagram is doing it. Beth the Red Cross Stitcher is doing it, and then others. There's a bunch of others too, but the hashtag on that one is Dash and Dance Sal. So if you guys want to go check that one out. And I am using Country Redwood for my floss. And I haven't worked on this one a whole lot lately either. I kind of thought about pulling this one out for Jolly July, and I just haven't yet, but we're still in July, so there's time. I may try to work in, there's a lot of Quaker-ness happening here and here now. The tree was so fun. And now there's a lot of Quaker stuff. I said it right. I always say Shaker. I don't know where that comes from, but I've been Quaker in my brain, trying to get Quaker. So anyway, that's where I'm at on that one. I've got the whole top done, so that's as wide as it will go. It's not gonna get a whole lot longer than this. So this is pretty close to the size that I'm doing. This one is done on, did I write that on my card? I did. Dusty Road by Seraphim in 40 count. And I started that one on December 25. That was my Christmas start. And pardon me as I tuck some of my stuff back away again. Okay, then I'm just gonna get the elephant in the room out of the way. I started a full coverage piece. I started 2 of them actually, and love them, both of them, desperately. And this one was my leap year start, thinking I have 4 years. I am sorry, you guys, I'm itching. We have horrendous mosquitoes around here, and I can't even take my dog out to go to the bathroom without getting 3 or 4 new bites, even after spraying myself down with spray. So I'm itching. I've got a huge one here on my neck, and they are biting right through my clothes no matter how many layers I put on. So anyway, that's my little rant. So if I'm itching, it's because of the dumb mosquitoes. So this is my adorable little pattern. It's my dog. I think it's so cute. I love it. It's got that umbrella, and I love a lampstand, and I just love even the spots, the polka dot spots, the flashes of color. I just love it. And I've done nothing, except to park all my threads and leave a hot mess. So this is my elephant in the room, and I have to get going on it. I've got that tiny, tiny little start. Not so big. And let's see, where did I put my bag with all of my stuff in it? I think I ended up doing this on 28 count, 1 full cross 1/1. I had tried doing my other full coverage on 25 count, and it was gridded, and I didn't like it 1/1 in full cross. So I ended up doing it 3/1 in a tent stitch, and then I didn't mind the coverage. So it's a work in progress. I'm still trying to play around with that one, but that one calls for just a lot of DMC. I've got it kitted up, and I don't remember what bag I put all of my stuff in, but I'm sure I'll run across it here at some point. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you guys is my Lady of the Flag. I feel so very honored and very blessed to be able to stitch her. This isn't the color that I'm doing it in, but this is Lady of the Flag. I'm going to do mine as called for, which has got more golds, and she's blonde. But this was a potential color change I was thinking of doing at one point, until I realized how hard it was going to be to do it, and I went, no, I don't think so. So I haven't gotten any extra work done on her either, because I worked on something different during the 4th of July. During the, like all of June, I kind of made a different patriotic stitch, my focus stitch. So this is my Lady of the Flag so far. Not a whole lot done, a little bit of her skirt, and I think this might be the pole, can't think of what it's called, the thing she's holding. The torch? No, it's not the torch. But anyway, I don't have a whole lot done. And I've got that one on specialty fabric by, it's the, I just looked at my card and I don't have it written down. Trying to think of the website where I had to go to get that. It's not Fiber on a Whim. If I think of it, I'll put a link in there. And if I forget to put a link in it, you guys want to know what it is, I'll look it up and I'll find it. But I'm using all the called for colors on it just because it's a bigger stitch. This is a 32 count because there's a lot of beading that goes with this. And so I couldn't go smaller, although the majority of the time I prefer to go smaller. But with that one, I had to kind of stay with a 32 count. Trying to throw things as I go. And then my next one is the Mystery Hometown Sal by Teresa Kogut. It's free if you are a Tier 4 Patreon with her. And she's put out several, I think 6 different sections now, and takes quite a few colors, but she, bless her heart, does mostly DMC. And so it's usually very affordable to do hers. I haven't worked on this one lately either. This is where I'm at. I love it. It really is such a fun stitch, you guys. I really love it. And what slowed me down was sometimes she would release a pattern that cut off like right here. And so you couldn't always see the whole part of the house, and I like to wait until I can see the whole piece that I'm going to be stitching so that I don't stop and start in the middle of something. But I am several months behind now because I don't have real great lighting here with my frames. But one thing I did end up doing, because I couldn't find 40 count up in the attic, which is what it called for, I had 36. But I didn't love my coverage on the roofs because the roofs are all dark. So what I did was, instead of one thread, I used 2 threads on the bottom leg, 2 threads over 2. And then on the top leg back, which makes it tricky to do, I did 1 stitch because I didn't want it to like be super solid and stick way out. I wanted it to kind of blend, but I wanted more coverage than what I was actually getting. And so I made that adjustment for most of the roofs, most of the dark stuff. I'm doing 2 threads on the bottom leg, 1 thread on the top on the way back. And this is the pattern. I don't have a printed copy of it, so I just pulled it up on my iPad. This is what she has released so far. So you can see I'm a little ways behind. But I'm not in a huge rush on that one. There'll be time, I think. I hope. I do enjoy stitching on it. It's really addicting once you get going because you get to finish this house and then this motif. And I love having little mini finishes within a finish. It just makes you feel like you're getting somewhere. So that one I'm doing all the called fors. Do I have another one in this? That was my hometown. And that was Dasher Dancer. Okay, that one is done. And this was one I started at Christmas time, and I am so close to being finished. I think I just have some of the really rotten, hard little confetti stitching to do yet. It's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And as you can see, I'm pretty much done. Sorry for the nest of threads up here. There are some specialty buttons that go across the top. And it took me a little while to get those, but I did finally get them. They're just little stockings and stars, which are so, so cute. So those will go across the top. If I were to sit down with this for a day, it would be finished. And so this is high on my priority list too for July, to maybe finish it up, get this one done, because it really is so pretty. And I think, I'm not sure how I'm gonna finish it. I might make a pillow. It's kind of big from what I usually do for a pillow, but I could frame it too. I haven't completely decided what kind of a look I want to finish it with. Pardon me while I put all my stuff back together, guys. I know it takes a little bit longer, but I'm gonna have such a mess if I don't. All right, then this one I started because of Sarah's Stitchery. She had purchased a piece from Paisley and Polka Dots, and it's something that has your dates. It's like a date calendar, and then there's a spot underneath it that holds whatever. You can put trinkets in there, but you can also put a stitch in there. And she decided to do the Seasonal Birds by Robin Pickens. And so I started this, the tiniest of starts. But I bought all 4 of the seasons. I liked the idea of not changing it every month. I liked the idea of doing seasons, and hers turned out so cute. So I immediately had to go and get them. And this is my, I really do have threads everywhere, you guys, so I apologize. So this is my tiniest of tiny starts. It doesn't hardly count, but yes, it does. It is still a start. And that one, did I do a card? This is where I started to kind of fall off the rails, you guys. I don't have a card. I don't have anything on that one, but I do have the fabric. So I'm using sand from 1, 2, 3 stitch. It just says sand, and it's a 32 count because that was the size needed in order to get it. That's what Sarah had recommended, and it's what she used, so I went with the 32 count there. And it also has just enough color in the background to really make everything else kind of pop. Is that right? That does not look like what I used, you guys. I'm lying. Oh my stars, am I lying? I've got myself thoroughly confused. Because I have this fabric in here. But that is, I don't think that's the same. Maybe it is, maybe it's just that thin. Let me pull a piece out. Oh, I think it is. I think it is. I think when you get it on the hoop without anything behind it, it looks much, much lighter. So give me just a second. I'm going to go pull the other patterns that I got on that. So this is kind of part of my haul. That's why it wasn't with the rest of this, but here's the summer one. And Sarah has this one done already too. You should go check out her channel, you guys. She's a prolific stitcher. She gets a lot done. And I like what she does. I like a lot of the same things. Here's the fall one. I just really kind of loved all of these. And then of course winter with the cardinal. Isn't that pretty? And they don't look like they're a horribly hard stitch to do. I'm thinking I can get them done once I get going pretty quickly. So Sarah, that one was your fault. I don't know if you watched me at all, but that was your fault. I really should count my whips. I still haven't counted my whips. I have no idea how many I have. I don't know if I want to know. Part of me really doesn't want to know. Is that bad? Okay, and then I'm working on Serenity, because who isn't, right? And I know that Handmade by Sarah W. and Sarah are doing, is it Serenity with the Sarahs, maybe? They're doing a sale. But this is a pattern that came out at market time by Teresa Kogut. And it's gorgeous, you guys. It's just so elegant. I love how she has that alphabet on there. And I started this when I went to a retreat, or an open stitch it was called, at Stitchery Nook in Osage. And there was another gal that was doing it there too, Jo Kramer. She was working on it too. And I'm sure she's so much farther than I. But I am doing it on the Called For, which is up in the attic by Fox and Rabbit. And I did find 40 count for this one. But I don't have, I'm not very far. Again, all my threads. Some of my threads that are hanging are because I found a mistake. And some of them are hanging because I couldn't, my scroll frame wasn't big enough. So I have just the littlest part of the border done. And I started the little moth in the corner. And then I made a mistake up here and I had to pull out a couple stitches. And I haven't fixed them yet. So that's Serenity. And that's going to be so gorgeous when that one is done. Make sure I put everything back in my bag again. My chair is squeaking. Pardon me. Okay, this one, I started it for Kari Tiger Lily for her birthday. It's by my sister's sampler, and it's Ann Richardson, and it's so vibrant. It has pink, and it's just so pretty. And she had gotten together with Vicky Clayton and done a conversion with the Vicky Clayton silks, and it only took like 6 of them. And then Vicky gave us a little discount if we joined. And so, of course, I joined, of course. And I started it and then got busy doing other things. And so that one was started on January 31. And I am doing this one on Prairie Grass, 40 count by Seraphim. And I just have really a little bit of the, alphabet at the top done. So not real far. My lighting is just terrible here, guys. I apologize. Things just aren't looking quite true. Because this actually has a little bit more of a goldish brown color to it. And it's looking very kind of taupey, I think, on the camera. And then these were the Vicky Clayton silks that she had done. They're so pretty. Oh, so soft. And then these floss drop holders came from Kari Tiger Lily's club. She has, what's it called? It's Project Keeper Club. I can't think of what her official name for it is. And this was part of one of her Project Keepers with these gorgeous, beautiful, they're acrylic, kind of a greenish blue color. So fun. So I thought, what better use than to put them on her birthday cell? There are a couple of other fun things that came with that. There's a little tiny dragonfly. What else did she have? She always is just chock full of special fun things. Oh yeah, oh I forgot this was even in here. A beautiful scissors and a scissors holder. Oh, how could I even forget that that was in there? Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. That was part of her Keeper Club. That's what it's called. Eventually it comes to me. One of these days it's not gonna come anymore. And then it won't be my problem. It's gonna be my kids'. My poor children. Anyway. Okay, so that was one. And then this one I think is, yes, my Winter Rose Manor. And I'm loving this one. I've been wanting to do this one forever too. I am using all the called for colors on this one. Trying to make them look pretty. My flosses never look pretty. They're always a bit of a hot mess. Beth and I started this one together as well. We started this on February 1st. And I am this far. I'm up to the house. So I'm putting in the pink color of the house. Let me go back a little bit. So I've got most of the border done. I don't know if you can see that. Wow, the lighting is terrible. You know what? I'm gonna try something. Let me shut my overhead light off. Maybe that will help a little bit and get rid of some of those shadows. Hang on. Don't know if that's gonna be better or worse, but so here's my, oh yeah, I think that's definitely better. Here's my progress so far. I have to finish the border down under here yet and up the side. And then here it's basically the house. There's a basket of flowers on top and there's a couple birds sitting here. But I feel like I've made some really pretty good progress on that one. I'm really loving it. Getting to the house was super fun. And that one I am doing on, I don't know if I said this already, 40 Count Dusty Road by Seraphim. And that keeper is done. Okay. This is the one that actually has had a lot of my time over the month of June. It is One Nation by Bygone Stitches. I started this one, I think I started it last year. Did I make a card? That might have been before, I think that was before I started a Flosstube channel and before it became important that I kind of keep track of those things. But this is what it looks like. It's really a very cool pattern. It's the stripes are the names of the states in white and red. And a lot of people are choosing to do like the state they were born in, the state that they live in, the state that their husband was born in, or even the state that they were married in a different color to kind of make those pop. And I haven't gotten to those states yet, and I'm undecided as to what I want to do there. But I'm running out of time because it's not going to be long before I'm up to that. Now this one has a ton of threads because it's so very wide. It doesn't fit in my frame all at one time. And so I tend to stitch down, and then when I'm out of room for stitching on my frame, I leave the thread, and then I move the frame over once I've got that section completed, and then I can pick up my threads and go on again. And this is my progress, you guys. Let's see if I can get back far enough for you to see it. I am so close. So I'm all the way to the bottom. I got all of the stars in and done. So I really just have 2/3 of the bottom half left. If I move my hoop 2 more times. And really the letters go sort of quickly. It's a lot of the other stuff. What really takes forever is the borders. Stitching just straight across, and each row has 2 rows of stitching, one in red and one in white. And so that really takes a long time, stitching those. But isn't it pretty? Look at the stars. And this one I was inspired to do this one by Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher. I saw it on her channel first, and she was doing it on, I want to say Haunted by Seraphim. I think that's what this is. And I chose to do it on 28 count, 2/2, because I have a wall that I want to put this up on. And I was shooting for this year. I didn't quite make it. But I'm close, you guys. And then actually after I got this far, I kind of went, I'm ready to stitch something else for a little while. I stopped doing this one basically because I felt like I had to get my August stitching done for that class that I'm taking at Shanty Stitchers. And then you know how that goes. You stop and then you lose your steam and you just don't pick it up again as quick and get going. But that's okay. It's not going to get done this year anyway for the 4th, so it will be there for next year. So hopefully I can have a finish on that one next year. I wish that I had a card on it. I'm just thankful that I do actually remember the fabric and stuff on that one. So that one was, every one of my stitches is somebody's fault. Not ever mine. Would never, never be my fault. So that one's Vicky the Virginia Stitcher's fault. This one, look at my blanket for this little teeny tiny stitch. I didn't want to cut it. This is the September section of Season 2, A Year of Celebration by Hands On Design. This is on 32 count Lugana. And I am using a conversion floss pack from Kimberly at Fat Quarter Shop. She did the most amazing conversion of colors. And if you go to Nicole Spore's channel, she did all of hers on one piece. Oh my, beautiful, so gorgeous. I can't tell you how many times I've referred back to her video just to kind of look at it and make sure I'm on track with it. I've only stitched, I finished August last year. I stitched March, but I don't have it fully finished. So here they are. And it's kind of hard to see. And the colors on here are way different than what I'm using. And I just reminded me, I'm gonna go grab my one finish for August on that so you guys can see what I'm doing with it. I apologize for all the stops and starts here. So here's my finish for August. This is on a backer board by Chantel 141 Design. It's called On the Edge. And it's got just this little box which you can put fun little trinkets in for each season if you want. And this has just got a magnet that holds it in place so I can swap them out. And this also is a magnet which is coming apart. I didn't know that. I had to go with kind of a smaller magnet on it so it wouldn't show. Goodness, that glue let go just a little bit. I'm gonna have to retuck that. But yeah, that's also just a magnet. So you can switch out your decor on the top too. But isn't that August one cute? It's got little crabs on it, seagulls. And those are like buoys or something like in the water. So this is just a bunch of trim that I wrapped all together and then stuck a magnet on the back. And so super easy to do. But that's going to require just a little repair as my little centerpiece isn't holding very well, but so fun. And instead of jumping on and doing July, because by the time I get it done, July is going to be over, I thought, well, I'll jump in and I'll try to do September, October, November, December. And so this is my September one with some sunflowers. And there's some great big something or others down here yet. I don't really know what they are yet. But this is about as big as it will get. It's not much bigger than that. So I have all of that kitted up to do all 12, and more fabric than anybody would ever need. Yeah, I usually cut mine down, but I've made that mistake sometimes with my smaller stitches, and then I can't get them to fit in my hoop, and I am no longer an in-hand stitcher. I used to be, but my hand issues have caused me to not be able to really hold onto the fabric or hold onto a hoop in my hand very well without it getting fatigued and really tired. So that's why I have the Lowry stand. I can let it sit there, and then I can kind of use both of my hands to stitch, and I love it. I love it. I can't tell you guys how much I love that. Oops, there's a missing card. And I think this was home tone. Oh, I'm getting pieces. I could be in trouble. Okay, this one is the one you guys might tell me I'm absolutely crazy on. This, I bought all the crochet a-go-go. Oh, I found a little treasure trove of things in here. Oh, this isn't it. Where's my crochet a-go-go? This is Molly. It's got a project card, but it's empty. Imagine that. This one was by Molly. From Linens and Scraps, and she had, it's called Bouquet of Sunshine. It's an out of print, had to go searching for it, and I'm using just a piece of Artiste from Hobby Lobby. It was an oat bristle 46 count, and I was doing 1/2 on this. 1/2 or 1/1, but it's 46 count. And it makes it pretty tiny. And I think I will continue with this one. I haven't worked on it in a long time, but that's my progress. I got the border done, and it all matched up. But it's pretty little, you guys. Look how small. That was my first foray into 46 count. And this is the picture. It's kind of a blurry one, but this is the picture of it. And this one, it doesn't even have the border around it. It just has the bouquet of sunflowers on it. And that one is primarily DMC flosses, but quite a few of them. So here are my flosses, which are a hot mess again. They've been kind of in storage. I really should braid them. That always makes them stay better. Here's the colors for that. And I haven't seen Molly talk about hers in a while, so I kind of wonder where she's at with hers. I'll have to maybe send her a question on that at some point and just say, where are you at on that one, Molly? I would love to see her progress. Okay, tucking that one back in. Doesn't really want to go because it's just thin paper. But that one I had to get out of a magazine. Let me see if I have the magazine, because that's just a copy of it. Is this it? I'm so sorry that I'm not prepared, you guys, but are we surprised? Because that doesn't seem to be my strength at all. It is in the magazine, Better Homes and Gardens Cross Stitch, the July-August of '92. It's in this magazine, if you're interested. And here's a better picture of it. There. Isn't that pretty? It says, be thankful at the bottom. Ooh, love it, love it, love it. I need to get back to that one again, too. Have not touched that one in quite some time. Let's redo how I did that. Come on, fella. Tuck him in there. And then this in here, and then this in here. There we go. Okay. And that one's done. Okay. Then in this one is one by Kathy Haberman again. She has these block party ones. And I took a class at a Jingle Ball, but remember I wasn't feeling well. And so I watched her class, but I didn't have a stitch prepared in order to be able to put anything together. But I did watch how she puts a block together. And so this is her block. It's called Home. And I kind of really love the little houses, first of all, but then also how the trees went up and over the top. And I bought the home pins to go in the top of it. And that will be so cute, wouldn't it? On one of those little stands by Chantel 141 Design, once I ever get it finished. And I have just the smallest of starts on it. Got a couple of the houses done, a couple of the tree bases started. So it's a really, really fun stitch. And she's done quite a few of those. And for her class, she actually did, for the Jingle Ball, she did one that had reindeer, I think, on it. It was a Christmas one. And so I have that pattern too. But I had this one and started this one before the class. And so I thought I was just gonna do this one for it. Yeah, and then that just didn't happen with me getting sick. So anyway, oh, you guys should see my mess. You should see my mess. This one, I am crazy. This was when I was thinking I wanted to make teeny tiny little ornaments for my trees. And I thought that would be fun to do the preschooler Santas and make them teeny, teeny tiny until I tried it. And I chose, do I have it down? I don't know. I started, which one did I start? It's one with the little Christmas tree on it. I started one of these and started the tree. I don't know if you guys can see how tiny that really is. Let's see if I can get it to focus in. Yeah, there we go. So tiny. It's 1/1, and I made a mistake. And do you think I can get the thread back out? There he sits, because I can't get the thread back out. So I don't know whether to move forward or to start over, or he's in a funk in here. He's lost in the process. I don't know quite what to do to proceed. Beautiful fabric though, you guys. It's Portobello. Oh, it's only 40 count, but it is 1/1. It's 40 count. But isn't that pretty fabric? Portobello. So pretty. So I may have to just scrap this one and do something different. Maybe try to do it 1 thread over 2 instead, just make them bigger. So anyway, kind of stuck on that one. Not really sure how I should proceed with that one. You guys are getting a true sense of my whips, of all the good, the bad, the ugly. There's a lot of ugly. This one, I intended to finish it up. This is a Remember Me. And I don't have very much done on it. It is no, it's not Remember Me. It's by Brenda Gervais. It's a Forget-Me-Not. And I'm drawn toward those just because of losing my husband. I'm very drawn to the Forget-Me-Not or the Remember Me. But this is all the farther this one is. And this was a mystery linen. I don't think this one had any tag on it, but it is a little bit of a darker brown, which I love. It's got kind of a prim feel to it. And moving on. I keep hearing noises outside. Oops, I forgot to put my block party back. Where's my block party? Here we go. Okay, then this is my crochet a go-go, and it's pronounced, I actually did one of those Google Translate searches and had it pronounce it for me, and it's crochet a go-go, crochet A, crochet a go-go. And she has some of the cutest patterns, and I bought all of them. I think she's got more out now too, but this was the city patterns. So this was like the spring one, I think, done in pinks. She's always got bunnies in there doing really fun little, let's see if I can get it to focus. No, it doesn't want to focus. And then she's got the autumn one, which is the one I started. And here is the Christmas one in blues and reds. And I may change that. You know, the blue and the red was really popular for a while, but I may go in with more of a limey green or a grassy green color instead with the red. Something that blends into my decor a little bit better. This one was on 36 count raw. This is the one I was doing 1/1. So tiny. So very tiny, you guys. Look at that little. And so this one I'm really not sure whether I should proceed. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna miss so much of the detail by doing this one so tiny that, and I have 4 patterns that I want to do of this. So I really think I might scratch this. I don't have that much done. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it again, I'm gonna start over and I'm gonna do this bigger because there's such a cute pattern and I'm just gonna miss so much by doing it tiny. I don't have a very big house, and I think in my head, I was thinking keep them little and then you'll be able to fit things, excuse me. But this is not a good pattern to do them super little like that. So I'm gonna keep that one out because I definitely am going to start over on that one. Okay, what else do I have? What was in this one? This one was my Crochet a Go-Go. Okay, good, I can tuck that all back away. Sorry for kind of leaning in and out of the screen, you guys. Are you all still with me? Told you this was going to be a long one. Okay, I'm going to reach down and grab another stack. But honestly, we are getting there. We're getting pretty close to the end. So, and then after this, we'll just go over a little bit of haul and we'll be done. So if you want, take a break and go grab something to drink, refill your glass, do whatever, but it's gonna be a little bit longer, just a little bit. Okay, this one I bought as a treat to myself for my birthday. I fell in love with it. It was kind of spendy. It was a Letty Stitch kit, but I just thought it was so pretty. A Christmas one. I loved the fireplace and the dogs all on the couch and just how everything looks so cozy. And so I have just the tiniest of start on this. I started it and then I didn't really go any further on it. So, and I don't even know really, to be honest, what's right upright and what's downright. But I'm doing it on the Aida cloth that came with it, which looks to me like it's either 16 or 14. Looks like 16 count to me. But I really want to get to a point where I can actually have something to, so this was kind of in the middle of the dog. I need to get like something to the couch so I can get a reference point. Like you see where the brown of the cushion, I need to get someplace where I can get a reference point. Because it's really hard to even follow the pattern without that, because I keep going back and forth. So anyway, I do love this one. I will do this one someday. Just not today. It doesn't call to me very quick, but maybe once the weather turns again, it will, and then I'll pull it back out and start working on it again. There's just always so many new things, you guys. You know, we have these truly amazing designers that just keep coming up with all this incredible stuff. So yeah, other things just keep calling to me. This is my very oldest WIP. And there will be no laughing at the masking tape around the edges. I should just pull it off. This one was a Dimensions kit. It was called A Gracious Era. And I am really close on this, but there is a ton of back stitching that has to be done. So what's left is, whoops, let me fold it in half this way. There are houses, like buildings, tall buildings that have to go in here yet. And it ends pretty much right about here. So I am really quite close. And I think there's some more tent stitching. But what put me off of this one was, since I didn't know what I was doing really, and as I was stitching this, I don't know if you can see it, but my lamp post in the middle is is pulling to one side. It needs to go like this. And I can fix that when I stretch it, but every single time I pick it up, that bugs me. And I just pulled my stitches too hard, and this is when I was stitching in hand, and I didn't know about a continental stitch, and so I would just like keep stitching like in a sewing method, and it kind of distorted it because it was a tent stitch. It wasn't, a lot of this top stuff is tent stitch. So I do want to finish it though someday. I do love it. I always have loved this picture. And I started this one when my dad was sick in the 90s. And so there's just a memory attached to this one. And so it would just be extra special if I could get it finished, just because of the memory that I lost my dad in the 90s. So it just reminds me of the time that we were running back and forth to the Mayo Clinic, and just on the road a lot, and then just sitting with him in his room there, and stitching, looking for something to do while we visited with him. So yeah, that one has kind of some special memories for me. So I won't ever stop. I won't ever quit. I'm way too far to do that. Okay, moving on. Here's another. I do love, you guys, I love dimensions kits. I love Letty Stitch. I'm scratching on my leg again. And sometime I'll do a little parade of my kits, because I do have a lot of them. Not a ridiculous amount, but I do have a fair amount of kits. This is one of them that I've started. It's called Birds and Berries, and it's a dimensions one. And it's so pretty. I have a tendency to love pink and green, and I loved this color of green in this one. And the cardinals and the Christmas scene. Just thought it was really pretty. But I did not want to use the fabric that came with it. So I am using 36 count Grace Notes French Vanilla. And this is all the farther I am on this one. And sorry, I did not iron for you guys today. If I had ironed, this would have never happened. This video would have never happened. So this one's been really a lot of fun too. There's a lot of shading and stuff going into this one. So I need to get back to that one again. I started that one. Did I write it down? I actually have a card. I started that one on July 12 of 23. And then the next one is a soda stitch. I saw this one on Brenda, the Handwork Maniac's wall. She isn't the one that really inspired me to do it. I saw it after I had mine kitted up and had started it. Had a really hard time finding a decent picture of this one. It's really hard to find one of the whole thing. But it's just all these really cute little vignettes, like a little main street. It's called Sky Blue Street. I think it's so cute. And this one I am doing on Antique White. I can't read through my little baggie. I have to pull this out. Come on. Antique White Virgin Linen, 46 count, 1/2. So gonna be fairly small, but it's so long. I didn't really want it to be enormous. And it was, that size is working for me. But it wouldn't if I didn't have the use of a magnifying glass. So the Lowry stand comes with this extra, it's an accessory you have to purchase, but it's a bracket that attaches to your stand base, and then I can put my, whatever light I'm using or magnifier, I can attach it in there. So they swing together, which is wonderful. And I picked up a wonderful magnifying lamp that my friend Charlotte told me about, and it has a nice heavy base. It's a tabletop, but it has a nice heavy base. I have a floor lamp. I have several. I've tried many different things, and this is the one that I've landed on that I like the most. So if you guys are interested in seeing that setup sometime, I can maybe do that on my next video. But anyway, back to this is my progress on Sky Blue Street, so to stitch. Isn't it pretty? Oh, you guys, I love the colors in this. It's just fun. This is one of those things where I don't really have a home for it. I just wanted to stitch it. I just thought it was so pretty. And I haven't worked on that one in quite a while either. With all my kits, you guys, I have so much thread and stuff and even fabric that's being held hostage that I really need to. I need to focus. Somebody tell me how to focus. You'd think by 62 I would have figured that out a little bit. I sometimes think that I might be on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. I know that I'm OCD. That's a no-brainer. But yeah, I might be ADHD too. Okay, this next one is another Dimensions kit. This one is called Winter Farm. Oh, I love it. Does anybody else love it? The thing is, I really love all my stitches. There's a few that I love more than others, but I really do love my stitches. And so I want to get back to this one. I actually have done quite a bit. And I just used the called for fabric that came with the kit. But love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm over halfway done on this. I need to pick it back up. Again, this one is a winterish one. And so I think maybe once the weather starts to change, I'll start thinking about doing more winter stuff again. Who knows? Maybe not. Whoops, that didn't get put away. Oh, I think I'm down to about 3 more to go, you guys. Getting there. Got to put my soda stitch away. Another thing that I've been busy doing, life update-ish, is I tackled my garage. So I broke my arm in 2022 and dislocated my elbow and did a real number on it. Had surgery and it was really healing well, and then I fell again doing something stupid and messed it up so bad. Ended up having another surgery the next year where they actually did an excision of the radial head, which means that they just take out, I don't get it, it doesn't make sense to me, but they take out the cap for your elbow. So the only thing holding it in place anymore is ligaments. But I was having so much pain with it, they said that by taking that out and not replacing it, people did better. So I had that done and haven't been able to do a whole lot for about a year, year and a half. And so my garage had become this hodgepodge of a dumping ground. And my daughter came over one day and she goes, "What do you think, Mom, about for Mother's Day letting me help you organize the garage?" And I went, "Yes, please." And I'm going to insert pictures, you guys. You won't believe the before and after pictures because we, of course, had to take pictures. And so it feels so good because like all of my decor now is in a big bin. Spring is labeled, 4th of July is labeled, fall. All of it has a home, and nothing had a home before. So it feels so good to have that organization in place. But that did take up a lot of my time. You know, if I have to choose between stitching and doing organizing, I would much rather stitch. But it does feel good. It feels really good to be that far. This one is still in my WIPs because I'm not quite finished with it. This is from Brenda Gervais, her Seasons of the Heart book. So she's got every season. She's got spring, summer, and then on the back, autumn and winter. Beautiful, beautiful houses. I love them. Love them, love them. And I did the spring one, and I'm pretty much done. I have to do, I think, some little back stitching in the windows and stuff yet. But I was going to attach the little spring thing that went down here, and then after the fact, I saw several people that decided just to stitch the border across instead of putting that spring thing in there. So I think I'm going to do that. And then I just never picked it back up again. And so I don't really have, and I did this one before, I can tell you what fabric it's on, but I did it before I had any cards done. It's on Milk and Honey, and this is on 36 count Milk and Honey. And so I have enough fabric to do the other ones out of this as well. And so I just need to get back to it and then figure out how I want to finish it. If I want to do a pillow, I think I wanted to go kind of small on it. So I think I'm doing 1 thread over 2, yeah, on 36 count. I wanted it to stay small because I really was in love with pillows when I did this. It's been over a year, year and a half since I stitched this. So So I have to like pull all my threads back out again and everything if I'm going to, and I think that's what's stopping me from finishing it up because it won't take much. I thought I would do a pillow. It's a little bigger than I normally would do a pillow. So that kind of stopped me too. I wasn't quite sure how to finish it. But I have seen some people do them all. I think Handmade by Sarah W. did all of them. That girl too, prolific stitcher. She gets so much done. So much done. I have another, this is the one I was telling you about, another full coverage. Oh my stars. But it's not in here. And I don't know really where it is. I'm gonna have to go digging for that. Well, you know what? We're gonna skip that one, guys, because I don't have a picture of it. I just have, okay, this is sad. I have a project bag. Is this a picture? Oh, I have a picture of it. It's a Terry Redlin, Heaven and Earth design, and it's called Our Friends. And I just loved that. It's an autumn looking picture. Fell in love with the picture. I don't see the fabric or my start, but oh my stars, you guys, look at my floss. This is the floss that it takes. That's all in my bag, and there's even a few more laying loose in the bottom here. So I do need to find that one. I wonder where I put him. It's been a while since I started it. And then I started my other dog full coverage, and then this one kind of went right on the back burner. You know how that goes. I better leave him out too, because I need to figure that one out. It's somewhere in my stash. Okay, and then the last one I have to show you guys is another kit. This was the first thing I started when I came back to cross stitch in 2022. It's 24, yes. I really have only been back to cross stitching again for a couple of years. Nicole Spohr is the one that pulled me into it. I followed her for card making. And as soon as she got me pulled into cross stitch, card making went right out the window. And I replaced it with cross stitch. So this was the first kit that I bought and started. It's really cute. And I think Hello from Liz Matthews was doing the companion piece to this as a stitch along. And I'm a long ways on it, but I fell out of love with it because, and you really can't see it, my stitches don't look very good. This is on, I think it's on 18 count with 2 threads, and it's really crowded and full, and I don't love 2 threads anyway. And since I started this, I've learned how to make 2 threads look a lot better by railroading or by brushing them before you put your stitch in. But I'm quite a long ways. I mean, I've got almost all of this top stitch section done. As I look at it from the back, I can tell that I only have like from here down that I really have to finish. So it's really pretty. So, but I fell out of love with it, and then there it sat because I fell out of love with it. So I think I will pick it up and finish it. When she would, Hello from Liz Matthews was doing her Sal, I really thought about picking it up and getting going on it again. And then I just got pulled into something else instead. So that's kind of the story of my life. Best of intentions, right? We all have the best of intentions. This one's getting quite a crease, so I'm gonna roll this. See if I can get rid of that crease a little bit for storage. Okay, guys, that's it for all of my WIPs. Woohoo! So now I just have some haul to show you. I'm gonna stop again and grab that, and we'll go on from there. Okay, and haul. So I'm gonna start with my floss. I belong, as I said before, to Color and Cotton's Floss of the Month. So here is the primitives and the neutrals that I received. This was for June, actually, so I've got July's coming on its way. This is All Colors 5 skeins. Oh, look at those beautiful colors, you guys. Color and Cotton I love because they start with a DMC base, and so they're variegated, beautiful saturated colors, but they're as big as DMC. They're not the smaller size that a lot of your other fancy flosses are, like from Weeks or from Colorworks. So I really do love Color and Cotton's floss. And that's the other all colors one. And then I just joined one for Gentle Arts because I have found that I really love Gentle Art colors. And I get 11 flosses every month from them. And this is only the second month that I have done this with them. So let me pull these out and show you. See if I can get them in a decent order because they didn't really show very well in the bag. I don't know if I can hold these all. I'm just gonna hold them backwards. You can kind of see the colors and I'll put them in front of me so I can have a background. I'll be the background. So aren't those pretty colors? So I'm getting 11 of them every month. So I'm growing my Gentle Arts stash because I do really love their colors. Okay, that's my floss. Then I've been on the D-Stash site a lot, and you'll get to see more of that next month. I've been on it a lot. But anyway, this was one of the things that I found that I thought was really super cool. It is a paperweight. And it comes with a press-on board that goes in the middle so you can put your stitch design in the middle there, and then a backer board that looks like leather. So isn't that kind of cool, you guys? You can put your own stitch pattern in there, and then it's just this really cute little acrylic, and it's heavy. It's a paperweight. I thought that was so pretty. So that was a crazy little purchase. I have a lot of fabric and not so many patterns. So let's start with patterns and then we'll run through the fabric fast. I don't know if I showed this one to you last time, but it's Summer Swan by Brenda Gervais. We'll go through these quick. And then I also purchased from her the Grand Old Flag. And then from Blackbird, I got Sweet Land of Liberty. I've been seeing some different stitches in here. Chris, the camping stitcher, did this one. And you guys, it was so pretty. And I had to go looking for it because I asked her, like, which book did that come from? And she's like, here. And I would have not recognized it. It was so, so pretty. But with that flag and that house, I think she did change the house color too. But anyway, I got that one. And that one's got this one on the back. That one's really cool. And then I picked up this Blackbird design, What Remains. I think that one's just a classic. And then I had an opportunity to buy a Christmas tree 2008 Nora Corbett one. And I've always liked this one. I don't know why. I just have always thought that. I think it's the coral color of the decorations on it. And it's kind of lacy looking. And I think maybe the green background. I love all of that. So I bought that one. It came with the beads, not with the fabric, but it came with the beads. Heartstring Samplery. I saw this one on Nicole Spohr. And I had it in my cart on Etsy. And she's like, oh, I had to go get that. And I went, okay, so do I. So I went and got this one. So pretty. And Nicole also did these. I found this one on the stash site, but she also did these 3 pairs in this. And like I said, I like green. This is my color of green that I love. And she did them and they were so pretty. So pretty. I mean, the picture here just doesn't do it justice. And then I belong to the Country Cottage Needlework Ornament Pastel Collection. So this was just my next installment. I think these are getting close to being done. I haven't stitched any of them yet, but I'm collecting. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. This is the one that Nicole Spohr told me to go get. I can't remember. It was one of these two. I think it was this one. Love this one. So those are my future. Oh, here's another one of my ornament ones. So like I said, it's been a couple months, so I got 2 months worth in between there. And then I bought from Carolyn Needle Arts. She has got such fun stitches. She puts beads in hers, just little pops of beads. And I really liked this Patriotic one of hers. You guys should go check her out on Etsy. She's got some of the most fun designs. I really encourage you to go give her some love. And I like Bent Creek and I like their Rose series. This pattern came really banged up, but I liked it because I live in a farming community. And so I got this one. And I found this Dimensions kit on the stash. This is called Winter Wonderland. I like the fact that it was oval. And last but not least, I love this one. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but it's another kit. It's by Needle Treasures. And it's it's kind of coming out. It's Patriotic. There's no place like home. Isn't that cool, you guys? I know we all love different things, but I love the stars up here and then the stripes down there. I just like that one so much. Okay, on to the fabric. We're gonna go through this fast too. I found some 46 count tin roof. I found some Lady Dot Creates 56 count vanilla and white. I found Fabrics by Steph. This color is Colonial Parchment in 40 count. 40 count is kind of my sweet spot. That's what I tend to love the most. I might have to take that out. I've been trying to get my hands on some Fabrics by Stephanie. And so every time I see something in the count I like, I kind of jump on it. And then I belong to Grace Notes Fabrics and I got Buttercup. This was a fabric of the month. And I've stopped doing a lot of my fabrics of the month because so often they were colors that I didn't think I'd use, like this one. I am not sure. And maybe there'll be a perfect opportunity to use it, but I'm not sure what I would do with that one. I'm gonna actually throw him off to the side. Then I have Fox and Rabbit. I belong to there through Garan Stitchery. This one's called Kathy's Stormy Skies. Love it. It's coming across more gray. It's actually a little bit more brown. This one is not named. Oh dear. This one has no name on it. I have a really big piece of not labeled. Then I got, I ordered this one from somewhere, I think off of Etsy. It's Winter's Brew. I love Winter's Brew. So I just got a fat half of it in 40 count because I know I'll use that one. And then linen, oh, more Fabrics by Stephanie. Oh, I got this from Lindy Stitches. So she carries Fabrics by Stephanie. And this one is called Driftwood, which is the color everybody was doing the folk series, the spring, the summer, the autumn, the folk series by Hands On Design. They were doing it on Driftwood. So I wanted to see what that was all about, but I got it in 40 count and I need something smaller to do that. I have that all kitted up. I haven't started it, so it didn't make it into my WIPs, but I have 2 out of the 4 patterns for the folk season, and I bought Oaken or Ale, I think, to do mine in. Can't get this one open. This is Fox and Rabbit, again, fabric of the month. This one's called Isla Morada, and it's a mint green color. It's really very pretty, and maybe I'll find a use for it, I don't know. This one is Ballet Slippers. No, this one's Little Bunny by XG Design. It's just a very dusty rose pink, and this is in a 40, I'm guessing a 40, yeah, 40 count. So soft, you guys. Oh, this is so soft. And this is something for my bedroom. I have my bedroom done in pink, so I'll do something for my bedroom, a sampler of some kind. This one is Soft Porcelain by Luminous Fiber Arts in a 40 count. It's got just a tiny bit of a yellowish, tannish background. This one is, oh, I scored some Lakeside Linen. I've been really stalking the sites looking for this. This is 40 count wood smoke, vintage wood smoke, Lakeside Linen. That one's as elusive to get as Fabrics by Stephanie. And then I found on the D-Stash site, somebody was selling a bundle called Nicholas Flamel, like off of Harry Potter. But it was 3/4 The Diary of Ellen Dimbauer from 1917, Nicholas Flamel Designs. And I got 3 fat quarters. And so this is one. They're all gorgeous colors, you guys. So pretty. There's one. This one's got a little bit of an orangey background to it. Not really orangey, rust maybe. And the last one is a little bit more in a charcoal. Ooh, it's a pretty color. It's not quite charcoal, not quite brown. It's really pretty. So I got those 3 in one bundle. And then I purchased some fabric. This one came from Primrose Cottage. She had flags on the 4th Patriotic bundle, and it had such good colors in it. And I plan to do, with my friend Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher, I think we're gonna tackle some kind of a quilting project coming up. And I wanna make it, because I'm not experienced, I wanna start with something a little smaller. I'm going to do a table runner for my table. And I thought about doing it in patriotic colors. So those were the patriotic ones that came from Primrose Cottage. Some really good backing ones too, like for putting around your stitches. Really pretty. And then I picked up a couple of bags. This one is from Como Stitches, and she made it like a flag. Isn't that cool, you guys? I was one of the fortunate ones to jump in and grab one of those. Love, love that. And then this one came from Starry Owl Stitchery. And I don't really do Halloween, but oh, you guys, it's so pretty. And then the back is all pumpkins. So pretty. So that's it for my haul. Okay, then what I have left is my giveaways. I'll be right back. Okay guys, now it's time for the giveaways. So last time I gave away 2 of the Proverbs 31 samplers, and nobody claimed them. Not either one of them, and I'm sure it's because my channel is small and I don't put out a lot of videos. But anyway, I'm gonna just redraw because it's been about 2 months and I haven't heard from either one of them. So I have 2 of the Proverbs 31 to give away. So I got 2 chances to get that one. And let's use the word, let's do something different on that one. Let's use the word scripture. Just the word scripture for that one. And then a wonderful gal from a shop on Etsy. Her shop name is A Sign of Interest. Makes these incredibly cool caddies for your scissors, for your Ort containers. And she so graciously gave me, I asked her if she would make one for me, and here she gave it to me to give away on my channel. She makes these beautiful wooden trays, so beautifully finished, and they have little feet on the bottom of them, so they won't scratch anything. Then you get like a little Ort jar with a fabric across the top to catch your little Orts. And there's a magnet on here, and that will hold your scissors. And it also comes with this adorable tree, which is basically will hold your needles. Now, if you wanted to attach this somehow, you could, but it is loose. It does just float. But I'm sure that there's a way you could attach that if you wanted to make it stationary. So guys, this is one of my giveaways. And this one, we're just gonna have you use the word interest. Interest. And I would be thrilled for whoever gets this. This is really quite an amazing gift from her. And then one that I spend my own money on. that I fell in love with. I don't know who I was watching, but somebody had mentioned that they had a bag made by, I had to look up her name again, Gorgeous Bags by Ursula on Etsy. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have one made for me. And I had the fabric, so I was gonna send it to her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have her make 2, and I'll give 1 away. These are huge. They are amazing. This is the bag, you guys. So there's a pocket here in the front. There is a double zipper. It zips from both sides with one of these great big, it's got like a hard edge to it, so it will stand up and stand open. It kind of pops open and closed. It's really big and really deep, and it's got pockets on the inside. So guys, this could be one of yours. It's got a nice, beautiful edging and trim on the bottom. This could belong to one of you. This is in honor of my 1-year anniversary, and I just wanted to do something special for you guys because I do really love you all. This channel has been therapeutic for me. It also helps me to record what I'm doing. It helps me to keep track because obviously I can't do it by pen and paper. I don't do very good with that. So this is another way for me to record what I'm doing. And it's just fun. It's fun to connect with this community. I love this community. So I apologize for the length of this video. Last time, I had so much trouble uploading my video. It uploaded 3 times. I'm gonna try really hard not to do that, but it may take a while to get this edited and uploaded. But I'm so glad that I finally have it done. It was really intimidating to me to do this one because I think I had so much that I wanted to show you and so much time had gone by. So I can't let that much time go by again. I'm gonna have to jump back on here, and I'm gonna shoot for 2 to 3 weeks because it becomes harder and harder the longer I wait to make a video because I know how hard it is. And it makes a mess. I'll take a picture of the chaos before and after. It makes a huge mess. But it also makes me go through my stuff and I find duplicates and I find stuff like little treasures I didn't know I had anymore. So there's good. There's a lot of good. So thank you guys all for sticking with me this long. If you managed to make it to the end of my video, I would love for you to put a little birthday hat, like for my anniversary. Let's just do, and actually I do have a birthday coming up. Oh, shoot. I wanted to talk about some of the things I'm going to do. One more thing, sorry. I completely forgot to tell you what word to use if you wanted to win that bag, you guys. So let's use the name Ursula, U-R-S-E-L-A, Ursula. Oh, this is such a disjointed video, guys. I also forgot to talk to you about some of the Flosstubers that I've been watching. I just wanted to do a couple quick shout outs. I've done some along the way, but the ones that I've been watching lately, my puppy wants to be with me, are Sarah's Stitchy Spot, and Loose Thread Stitchers, Jeannie and Leanne. Oh, Lost in Floss, Barb. I really have enjoyed her. Bernadette at Burn Stitches, and Vicky the Virginia Stitcher. And one of my other new finds is Bonnie at Log Cabin Stitcher. So just wanted to encourage you guys to go check out a couple of new Flosstubers. And then I'm really curious, do any of you guys have a unicorn chart that you're searching for? I would love to share that with each other and see if we can help each other out in any way, or at least keep our eyes open for each other. So please put that in the comments too if you are willing. So I am so sorry for how disconnected this all is. I'll try to edit it all together. Not my forte either. As I was going through everything, I found, of course, like I said, treasures. And there are some things I really definitely have contenders for my next start. One of them is this. It's this set, Stars and Stripes, and it's a collaboration between Plum Street Sampler and it's by Paulette and Shakespeare's Peddler. They each did a portion of it. I want to make those so bad, but I may be burnt out on Patriotic, so I'm not sure. This is another one. And my friend Jeannie from Loose Thread Stitchers is just finished this one. You guys, it was stunning, So beautiful. And she made me really want to pull this one out and get started. I don't have it kitted yet, but I might. That might be one of my very next projects. But I have a couple of others that are in the running. I am going to be doing a birthday start. This one is going to be mine, and I'm going to do it. My birthday is August 17, so this is going to be my birthday start. It's Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. I've had this one for quite some time. I got it as a Patreon. And I have it all kitted and ready to go, and Beth the Red Cross Stitcher is going to do that one with me. So let me know if you guys want me to do a sal, if you want me to host a sal, if anybody wants to jump in and join me on that one. It's a big girl. That one's going to take a little while. So that one is on the immediate horizon. And then Beth herself has a birthday coming up on July 26th. And we're going to be doing that one together. And she chose Rejoice Evermore. And this one is by Brenda Gervais. And when I was going through my things, I found 2 of them. So I don't need to do 2 of them. Eventually that will be a giveaway, just not today. I thought I had enough stuff to give away today. But this is Rejoice Evermore. So pretty, you guys. It's just so lovely. So that one is going to get started in the next couple of weeks. And Beth, if anybody hosts the sale on that one, it will be her, because we're going to start that one together on her birthday. There's just something so fun about starting things together, don't you think? I love it so much. And I told you I had the spring folk ones. Now where'd they go? They were just here. Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, that one's not important. I'm not going to start that one anyway right now. But then there's 2 other ones that have been in my stash for quite some time, and I love them. Since we've got Christmas coming up, I want to get some more of these ornaments made. They were in a kit, but I did not use the fabric, and I didn't stitch them exactly the way that they showed. I did make the Peace, Love, Joy one, and it calls for all of this tent stitching, which when I started to put it on, it just looked really busy, and it didn't add anything to it, so I left the tent stitching off. But I love all of those. I would love to have those all in a dough bowl for Christmas. So that one's high on my priority list. And then there's another one that's just super nostalgic for me. And I think I've shown it before on my channel. It's my cow one. It's the one that reminds me of growing up. And it's all kitted and ready to go. It's this one called Morning Vigil. I just love it. So that one also is got pulled out and might possibly be a start, but I'm really strongly leaning toward Praise God, From Whom All Blessings Flow right now. So I feel like I'm missing something. Where did it go? Really hate that. Anyway, I think that's it, you guys. Oh, you're the best for hanging in there with me. I love you all. I'm gonna quickly shut off here because I'm sure this is gonna be like a 3-hour video even after I edit. Hopefully it will only upload one time, but it will probably take a day or 2 for me to get it uploaded. I don't have a blessing moment for you guys. Just be kind to each other, you guys. If you can find a way to go out of your way to do a kindness for somebody, small, big, whatever, try and do it. You know, you get so much of a blessing out of it when you do it yourself that I think sometimes I'm more blessed when I do something nice for somebody than they are. So just remember to be kind to each other, choose joy, and as Kathy Haberman always says, stitch some happy. Love you guys. We'll see you later.